Welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. Well, it's been a while, I guess. Sorry about that. I don't know. I just have nothing really to talk about, I don't think, Seems like content's just sort of left me right now. I mean, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff in my life, don't get me wrong, and that's probably why. I've got a lot of health issues and dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of just physical turmoil. But hopefully that'll all start coming to an end and I'll start feeling better and being able to get more active. That's what my goal is anyway. But of course we'll see what time does with that. I've talked to quite a few of you on the phone and chat with you pretty regular. But and thanks for keeping my spirits up just because of the fellowship and the friendship. I mean, it means a whole lot to me. There's been a few of you that's helped me out along the way, and I greatly appreciate what you do as well. I mean, you don't have no clue what you've been able to help me through. Of course, without you, I would have totally sunk. But I mean, I still struggle quite hard, especially financially lately, and that's sort of what's let me down, has got me down a little bit. Normally I don't even let something like that bother me, but I don't know, maybe it's not coming in because I've sort of slacked on my faith, on faith that God will take care of me. He has for 20 years, I can't deny that, so, I know it's going through a lot of tough times for a lot of people right now. And the last thing people worry about is any kind of a ministry, that's for sure, or even looking out for others. It's very common for that to sort of disappear. But keep doing your best. I keep trying to do my best anyway. I help wherever I can, however I can, whenever I can. But I have to. I mean, that's what my calling is. And, even though I don't have a lot, I still share the few pennies that I do have. And I'm willing to help that change. That's what's wrong. I just figured it out. The true power. Remember these? Yep, that's the Staples Easy button. It don't work no more. Let's see. Oh, it's got batteries in it. That's why. AAA batteries. Oh, I need to get me some more AAA batteries. This was a joke for so many years in my van. People would say, "How in the world did you do it?" And I always say, hit the easy button. You'd be surprised how many times I've used this even in ministry, to prove a point, to show people just how easy it really is. I said that's how faith is, You just got to push the button and you've got to admit to it and say to it, are you willing to be, faithful? Are you willing to have faith? Hit the easy button and it becomes a lot easier. I don't know, just a joke though. I'm just kidding with you guys. Oh, the van is fixed again. Talk about a crazy, crazy, crazy diagnosis and fix. All of a sudden I'm driving down the highway and it just spit and sputter, almost like it was out of gas, right? And it stopped and pulled off side of the road. Crank, 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 nothing. So for a long time I thought there it was, the fuel. Something to do with the fuel, But I replaced the fuel pump. Probably not recently, but probably at least a year ago. So, it was fairly new. I mean, it's not like it was totally, old like at the age of the van. I figured the first one, I had, 20 years in it. Never had a problem with it. This one here's only got a year, so most likely that wasn't the problem. And then I started diagnosing it, and I thought that I would listen to it. Someone turned the key for me, and I would listen down by the gas, where you put the gas in. And it seemed like you could hear the humming, for a few seconds before, and then it would quit. So it sounded to me like the pump was working, and that's usually the diagnosis of what that is. I then went out and I said, well, to get into everything, just to completely eliminate the fuel, to determine if that's what it was, I went out and I got a can of ether, which is starting fluid. And I said, well, if it's getting spark, if I spray this down the throat when it's cranking, it'll at least fire. It'll at least act like it's going to start up and run, and it might die off, but it'll at least act like it's going to. So that was my theory on how to diagnose and eliminate all the fuel pump, the fuel filter, fuel injectors, anything that else could, possibly be a problem in the fuel system. This here would completely eliminate it, and diagnosing it quickly. So that's my theory. So that's what I did. And I mean, I sprayed it heavy down in there and cranked it up, nothing. Didn't even bump it. So I said, well, that's almost impossible. So I said, the only thing else it could possibly be is something's going on with the spark. It's not getting the spark for, to ignite this fuel. So I'm going to assume the fuel system is all okay. Usually that's the first symptom, is more likely the fuel. But I said, okay, I'm going to eliminate the fuel system altogether, and we'll look at it to it electrically. Battery was up, the car was spinning, it was cranking. So it shows a lot of the major things. I said it has to do something with the spark plugs, so it's not getting enough spark there, spark plugs or something. So that meant having to take the van apart, pull the cowling off of it. Vans are tough because they got that center cowling, that goes over the motor. They're very difficult to work on and get into. And with mine, I've got this big giant box here, all the electrical, everything, all, for the battery banks, and there's a lot to it. Well, it took me a whole day just to unbury it so I could get the cowling off of it. And thanks to my son-in-law, he willing to help me out and keep me motivated and keep going. The things I couldn't reach and do, he did, so just with a little instruction. And we both went to work together and got it. So I removed the box and everything out of the way, the electrical out of the way, got the cowling off. And we were like, he's like, well, what do we do now? I says, well, most likely we're going to start here at the coil. So that usually could be a problem. If we've got spark there, then we can go farther, I guess. So I said that would be the first place I would look at, thinking of starting it. Well, we pulled the center part off, the center wire off of the distributor cap. And I took a screwdriver, stuck in there, and held it up to a piece of metal. I told him to crank the motor. And sure enough, it was sparking. So I'm like, dang. So it's getting power. I said, what else? I don't know, because I just sort of assumed that the power was all good. And then I was sort of wondering about it there for a second. I says, no, we're going to walk on through this electrical. Take it all the way down to the spark plugs and try it. So I popped off one of the spark plug wires and did the same thing, and nothing. I'm like, okay, so it has to be something with the distributor. Something inside. Maybe the cap's broke. Something. I don't know. Let's open it up and find out. So we took the distributor apart. Sure enough, the cap was in pitiful shape. But this is the rotor. And it was in complete bad shape. So I looked at it and I'm like, piece still looks there. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's supposed to be a big center silver dial right here, for the pin to ride on, when it's spinning. That pin has completely worn out completely. And if you look close to it, you see how this is curved? That was curved to match the side of the of the metal post inside the cap that wrote on this, and it actually wore this out. That's how bad it was. I have never seen nothing in the world break like this at all. It completely disintegrated this little piece, because this little piece was nowhere to be found. So it completely worn it completely down into dust. And I'm like, that's almost impossible. I've never seen or heard nothing like that. And you can see how this one is all corroded in green. I mean, all the points inside the cap was completely corroded in green as well. How in the world it even got spark across there? It was amazed me that it could even work 100,000 miles ago. So I was like, how in the crap is that? So of course I went out, and the wires and everything looked great though. I mean, I think I replaced the wires though before, and the spark plugs. So, but they looked like they were fairly brand new. I mean, it seemed like to me that I did do that once when I had that open one time. It was pretty quick, to do. So it wasn't a whole lot of problems, for me to go on. But I believe I did. But I don't think I ever got into this. I know I didn't ever get into the distributor at all, because I didn't even recognize the cap for it. I've never seen that before, a cap like that. So that's sort of what it was, a flat cap with, 4 coming straight out each side, for the pleasant sieve on the top, like most of the distributors did. But anyway, sure enough, I put the new cap on there, put the new rotor in there, fired it right up. It's ran perfect. It's actually even getting a little bit better gas mileage, believe it or not. So, I mean, it's not missing at all. It's like a brand new motor in there. I'm serious. It runs perfectly. So that was a good fix. I think it was like, I don't know. I think it cost me like $75 or something like that. $80. And then the distributor itself started getting a little concerning. I mean, the way that it was so sloppy, and I pulled it out, took the distributor completely out, and you could see where it was starting to wear too, so we went and replaced the distributor as well. But it's got the distributor in there, and also the cap and the rotor, and everything's working well. I mean, I can't really complain about that, because you got to realize that part's got 600,000 miles on it. That's almost unheard of alone. And if I've never replaced it for the time that I've ever done it, that's amazing that a OEM part would be that way. And of course, everything I replace on here, I try my best to get OEM parts for it. I don't get just crap parts. Try to get the best I can get. The best part I could possibly get on everything. And that's why I trust this van as much as I do. You gotta realize the working mechanical part of this van, it's in better shape than a brand new one. I mean, because that's how much it's been taken care of, how well it's been taken care of, and every single piece of it's been replaced pretty much. Because I believe in, if I've got the money, I've been trying to dump it into it and replace these parts as I can think of them. And I've got even the motor, all the accessory parts of the motor, the water pump, the alternator, the power steering pump. Everything has all been replaced. All the hoses, all the radiator, the air conditioning condenser coil, the hoses for the air conditioning, the air conditioning pump itself, compressor, all the sensors, the carburetor, or not a carburetor, it's a throttle body. That's all been disassembled and completely clean. I mean, all the carbon's been taken off of them. If you know anything about the throttle bodies is right at the back of that flap in the throttle body itself. It builds up a little ridge and it causes some problems with, with the running of the motor as well. So all that's been cleaned out, and I mean, it's spotless. So like I said, I mean, all the sensors has been replaced. I mean, the thing has been gone through with a fine-tune comb. All the wheel bearings and inner and outer wheel bearings, the rotors, the brake pads, the cylinders, even the brake hoses, the rubber hoses that go bad, even they've been replaced all the way back to the hard lines. That part for the brake itself, that regulator, has been replaced. Remember me having a lot of problems with that back some time ago. That's for the anti-lock, or the anti-lock brake thing. That's all been replaced. The master cylinder's been replaced. Like I said, the batteries, all the cables, windshield wipers, you name it. Tires, I mean, it's got brand new tires on it. So mechanically, I mean, the tie rods, the shocks, the power springs. I got the shocks with springs in them this time, the load leveler springs to handle the load. I even upgraded all of those. And like I said, this is, all of it's been done. So, I mean, the truck's in very good shape. Cosmetically, it could use some tender loving care. Yeah, I mean, as many miles on it, you look at cosmetically, yeah, you can see the wear on it. It's like these little plastic door panels. I've got some broken pieces on them, and, they're starting to fall apart. I wish I knew how and where to find these. I'd probably get some new ones and put on them. But either that, I've thought about maybe trying to make something out of wood, maybe a nice wood piece or something there, to dress it up. I don't know. We'll see what I can do. I don't know if I would be that kind of, wood quality to be able to make something that looked right. Yeah, everything else is working good. What else can we talk about? Oh, I know. My water can. I love this cup. I could fill this completely full of ice and put 3 Cokes, waters, whatever I want to do in here, fill it up 3 times with the same ice, and it would last for 2 days. Literally 2 days. It would keep completely cold and ice, ice still in it. I might put 5 or 6 ice cubes in the very top every time I fill it up, just top it up and keep it up. But if I ever, just let it go, I could probably get about 3 different fillings and last about anywhere from 2 to 3 days, and it keeps it ice cold. Honestly, I've been amazed by this little glass. And it's got the straw and everything, so it's been really easy for me to use it. I love it. Oh, another thing, how I was addicted to Coke. Believe me, I was pretty bad. And I think that's why I was having such a hard time with my weight even. People don't realize how much soda they drink. But I honestly was drinking probably 8 cans of soda a day there for a long time. I was addicted to it. I mean, really was. That's how seriously bad it was. And all the sugar and everything else that was there. It just would blow your mind. This is what I found. That I've tried anything and everything I could possibly do to get me off of the Coke to transfer over. I like coffee. I've drank a lot of coffee, but it made me nervous. I mean, it give me the shakes. And that caffeine, and I'm sure the stuff I put in, I would use half and half milk, so I'm sure that would even be worse than the sugar, most likely. Especially with that much coffee. So I said, that ain't gonna work. So I tried to find just plain water. I mean, come on, who likes to drink water, It's okay, and I'm a water drinker, but not on everything. I mean, I grew up, I was a cowboy, I mean, milk and things like that. I mean, that's who I was. I drank a lot of milk. I drink, even now I could drink at least a gallon a week by myself. That's just something that I really enjoy, is the milk. But that's all going to have to start changing, I think. I mean, my doctor hasn't never said anything. He monitors my cholesterol and things, just because of the heart problems that I have. But, my cholesterol is down to, he said 47. He said that, which is extremely good. He said it's almost unheard of to be that good. When the first time he saw that, he actually went and had the blood test redone again, just to make sure. I mean, I had the same blood test done 3 times within a week. I mean, because he just couldn't believe the numbers that was coming out on it. But sure enough, that's what it was. We even changed the blood testing center to have another one totally do it. So that's how concerned he was. But anyway, cholesterol's fine, everything's fine. I kept complaining and telling him that a lot of the doctors and people that I would see would always be highly concerned, especially the phlebotomist people, that take my blood out every 2 weeks. They were very concerned about my heart rate. It was always down like 38 to 42 in that range, and it would never change. And they would say that was extremely low and it shouldn't be that low. So I talked to him. He adjusted my blood pressure medicine a little bit, I think it was, and also he gave me another medicine that's supposed to help, with all the medicines that I'm using to open up, I guess, the veins and arteries to make them flow better. And see, the problem is I have what they call thick blood, and as far as I understand, it's a reaction from my bone marrow. I guess I just produce way too much blood, and they literally have to drain the blood. That's why my blood pressure is so high, is because I'm just being full of blood, and it's just, I guess, under pressure. And so anyway, that's some of my health issues. But anyway, I was trying to get off the sugar just to help my weight problem, But then I come across this little stuff. This is the first time I've ever seen it. It's called Clear America. It's sparkling water. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I think we get it at Walmart. Walmart or Publix one. I think it's Walmart though. But it's in the soda aisles, I guess. But that's what it is. I mean, this is not a sponsored video. This is just something that I've been very happy with. It's got 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 caffeine, 0 sodium. I mean, 0, 0, 0, 0 of everything. And it's got a cherry limeade. It is a sparkling type of water, which I don't know. It's a little strong for me. That's why I just can't drink it straight. It's too sweet and too strong with the bubbling. I mean, I like that, but it's just too much, for just to drink it. For me, anyway. So what I do is I take this here. This is a 26 or 28 ounce glass. I take a third of one of these cans, about a third of it, and then I'll take just regular bottled water, like this, just Walmart bottled water, and I'll drinking water, and I'll fill it all the way up to the top, and then I'll sip on that all day. And I probably fill that glass up, I don't know, 6 times a day probably. Sometimes I'll even do it without the sparkling water, but usually about 6 times a day. So I'm getting plenty of, water. Plus sometimes I'll just drink a bottle of water too on the side, especially if I'm out in the heat and stuff. I'll drink a couple of those anyway. But You know, and I'm feeling a lot better since I got off that. Believe it or not, I mean, it's made a big difference. I mean, not so much in the weight area so far, but I'm sure it didn't take, but many years to pack that on because of the sodas. So I'm sure it's going to take many years probably get it off, especially since I can't really exercise right now very well. I try to do what I can. I got a little one of the little stationary bicycles. I spend about 10 minutes a day on those. I try to get out and walk a little bit, but I have a hard time walking. My nerves in my feet and my legs and my lower back is just, I just can't do it. And I'm afraid to go out and walk around the block and stuff because if I get halfway around and I get stranded out there, then I'm stranded. I can't get back home. So I'm sort of scared. I done that once, and it took me like 4 hours to get back home just walking around the block. Because I had to stop and rest, and I was in major pain when I finally got home. And I'm like, can't do that no more. Or I'm unwilling to anyway, especially in Florida heat. It just was crazy. So, that's sort of the dilemmas that I'm dealing with. So I was thinking maybe get one of those treadmills. I don't know if I could do that. That's why I haven't really even thought about spending the money on something like that. Because I don't know if I could walk that way. I mean, I don't last very long when they do my stress test, that's for sure, on one of those. So I don't know if it would be worth the money and investments to even try to get something like that right now. The bicycle I do use every day. So, but with that, if I get tired, I just get off. That's all. And it's with me all day, so I can get back on 2 or 3 times a day if I wanted to, and I do. Once in a while, but usually in the mornings, right after I eat my breakfast, I usually spend about 10 minutes on it, That's just trying to get something in exercise in. So I'm just trying to do that, and this lady said, when they adjusted this new medication there, because when they went in with my catheter, I had another catheter. Was it last week? The week before? Whenever. But anyway, they went in through the wrist again. Did another catheter. What they found is on the opposite side of the heart now, they have blockers the same way that they didn't catch, I guess, the first time that they went in. They thought when they first saw the one on the Widowmaker, artery or vein or whatever it is, they thought that was the problem and never really searched, I guess, any farther. But anyway, there's one on the other side too. That's about 75% blocked up. And apparently mine has like a birth defect or something. It's kinked anyway. It's right in the kink is where it's blocking up. So it's in like a real sharp kink. And it's the rest of them are fairly clear. It's just right there at the that restriction point is where they're giving fits at. But anyway, again, the angel veins has appeared and taken care of that problem once again. So I think they call those terminology is cap veins, capillaries. Anyway, that's they call it angel veins, and apparently it's where your body forms these little veins that goes around that clot, and it sort of gives yourself it gives its own bypass is what it does. That's how they explained it to me. So it's like your body performed its own bypass. Now the doctor said there is things that they can do. As I was asking her about that, she says she would rather try to do this with with medicine. Apparently it's not as invasive. There is other methods that they could use, even to a point to where they could do open heart surgery and completely bypass them that way. She says, but the risk and the health benefits is usually not there. So it's best to go this route, she said, but if it absolutely has to, then they will go further, more invasive procedures. There's even more invasive procedures they can do through the catheter, I guess. I always thought maybe, that I've seen it online where they've got this like Roto-Rooter thing. They go in there and they can literally chew that stuff up and suck it out with a vacuum. I'm sure they got that as well. I mean, these doctors are probably one of the best ones in the area. So yeah, I'm sure they've got technology like that as well. But anyway, we'll just let them do what they have to do. And spiritually, I think I've taken a beating, like, because I'm a people person, and with this, with this COVID crap out there, and not being able to go out and meet people and to be with people, it's taken a toll on me. It really has. I mean, it's beaten me up pretty hard. So I'm sort of concerned about that. I really, really need to get back out on the road. It's just financially, I just can't do it right yet. And not unless I can get back working again, doing something, trying to earn a living or some kind of an income to where I can afford to be able to do that. You got to realize everything that I made before, I just pumped right into the ministry. So I was probably what floated my ministry. I mean, there was a lot of people that helped, trust me, and it was wonderful that they would, that they would reach out and they would do the best to help. But I personally funded about 96% of the ministry on my own. And that took about 85% of all my yearly salary went right into the ministry. So a lot of people, I mean, it wasn't a salary, just my income, but about 85% of what I made would usually go right back into just the ministry itself, of helping people in the streets and doing what I can to help others. I mean, and yes, it would, I did all the repairs and the upkeep in the van and so that was a lot. I have one of my really good close friends that pretty much helped me with insurance pretty much all the time, on the van, and helped me with fuel, and that's the only way I've been even surviving and getting around is because of that help. And they've been really loving me to death on that, the best they could anyway, and I greatly appreciate them. I really do. But anyway, that's the situation with the ministry. Anything else to catch you up? I don't know. Sorry it's taken so long in between to give you videos. I try my best to, well, I can't say I'm trying my best because I'm not. I'm unmotivated. I have nothing to talk about. I have no adventures to fill you in on. No excitement in my life. I'm a boring 61-year-old man. So, and besides, I mean, I was even told that I'm now creepy because I'm an old man now. So I guess once you turn 60 or past 60, you become creepy, I don't think I'm creepy. I mean, just last year, a lot of people loved me, I talked to people all ages, all genders, all the way up, all the way down into their early 20s, and I communicated and became very, very, very close to a lot of them. Well, I've been called creepy just by total strangers because I was sitting in my van. I don't know what's wrong with people. But anyway, it's just the devil trying to beat me down. That's all it is. You know that as well as I do. And I get back out there. He's just trying to, every time I get a thought of going back out, that's when I get smiked again. And he's trying his best to discourage me all the way to the end. But I just got to get out and do it. That's the problem. I tell you what, I'm going to have faith. I'm going to get up enough mustard to just go and do another journey and just take off. Promise me you'd be there to help me out if I need it. Give me that reassurance. And if you think I should do this, reach in the comments and let me know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that's starting to get back out in society. A lot of people that I see traveling. I mean, I've gone to some of the places I normally hang out, like at some of the parks or some of the roadsides, the rest areas and things like that. That's where I used to go and meet these people anyway. And there's a lot of them out there. Still a lot of homeless and people out on the streets. So I don't think my clientele has really disappeared or gone inside. They don't think they really was able to. So at least those people are still out there. And those are the ones that I help and love anyway. So I'm not too worried about Jane and Joe down the street. They never get out anyway, so I never get a chance to meet them or see them anyway. But anyway, if you think that might be something that you'd be willing to sort of help me along the way, let me know. Of course, pretty much all my videos, I try my best to give you the information on how to get to me. The easiest way is you can go through PayPal. You can go PayPal.me. No, PayPal.me/prayervan. And that's the quick way to get right to my PayPal account. And then of course Cash App is JWD. It's the cash sign JWD 333. And that would get right to my Cash App. So those are the two easiest ways to help me and get me along the way, especially in a real quick move. Most people I've noticed has gone to Cash App and PayPal. They seem to like Cash App a lot better than they do PayPal. Don't really make no difference to me because I don't get any of that information from anyone anyway. I just get the gift and the donation, and then I have a chance to respond as a thank you or whatever I can. That's sort of why I like the Cash App. PayPal, it's difficult sometimes to find out who they were and how to respond back to them. So, and then people have sent me stuff in the mail, and I'm real bad with snail mail. I apologize for that. I don't think I have forgotten about you or don't love you any less or any worse, because honestly you're the one that touches my heart the most, because those are the ones that surprise me when I get them and I'm like, wow. And to think someone took that much time to make sure that I got it. That wasn't just a quick thought, they actually had to sit down, write the check, lick the envelope, stick on the mail, drive it down to the post office, put it in the post office, and send it off. That's a lot of steps to do that. I greatly appreciate it. Don't think I don't. And then when I do remember, I forget, Of course, then I've got a couple of my online friends that are very close to me that I speak to a lot. I'm talking usually on a weekly basis or so. That's reached out and helped me, and sometimes I forget to thank them as well. And really, it's sad that that I'm that bad at it, I guess. But anyway, forgive me, love me anyway, okay? I got a lot on my mind. I try to keep as focused as I can. Sometimes I'll run over things like that and don't even get a second thought. But anyway, how long have we gone here? Oh, mercy. I'm sure nobody's listening by now. I done talked your ear off. I'm so sorry about that. But I haven't been around for a while, so I figured I would sort of give y'all a a update and a catch up, and I love you. You know, that's the best I can do right now. And hopefully we can get things going. I'm going to start changing my attitude and changing my thoughts and my patterns, and I'm going to try it. I think I will. I think I'm going to try it. So the next donation that I get, I'll take that as a confirmation and go and do what I can do. And if I fail, all I got to do is hitchhike home, right? It's not like I've not ran out of gas before. But anyway, hey, God bless you. Have a great day. God will take care of us, I'm sure. And keep your chin up, okay? Try to do your best to get through all this pandemic stuff, and just don't let it bring you down. I know it's done a lot of damage to a lot of people and their security, their confidence, and their lives. I mean, it's destroyed them. So, hope everything works out. I know it's destroyed my business. It's completely wiped me out, you know. And it's all because of this pandemic stuff. But yet, I don't qualify for anything. I never have. I've always been under the 8 ball, behind the missing a leg or something out of everything. So I'm sort of used to it anyway. I'm past it all. But anyway, God bless each and one of you. Keep your chin up. Love you. Bye.